So I'm originally from Holland, as you can probably hear, but so that's where I picked. I mean, I was 18. I had to choose what to actually, go and study. Yeah, so I chose to study international hospitality management, which I did for 4 years, back in the Netherlands. My final year of university was actually a full year of internship, and that was actually my first real exposure to like a full-time job in the industry. And I did that in Paris. I just always loved the French language. Then I went back home for a little while and then came to London, where I then started my career in front office. Yeah, and I think if you look at London as a place to actually start your career in hospitality, it's the right place to be. There, as we talked about, there's so many different great hotels around, and to actually get yourself and experience different kind of properties and actually make a bit of career, like this is the place to be. I do think you need to really love this industry, because otherwise you won't succeed. Like, it is demanding. I remember when I was a receptionist, and you work every weekend, you work your night shifts when your friend wants to go and go and party and go out, and you had to say, sorry, I can't, because I'm actually working the Sunday morning at 7 a.m. But you can only do that, and you only are able to just make those kind of days if you really enjoy what you're doing. It's so nice that even after all these years, I still really feel proud and happy walking through this building. I mean, it's just such a beautiful place to be. Yeah, I love it. I love to be part of the team that runs this place, and I think it's also for me very inspiring to see how much this place has evolved. As I said, I actually came, I think when the hotel was 5 years old. Now we're hitting, we're almost 10 years old now, and I think I'm proud to say that today this place is definitely a better hotel than it was 5 years ago. It doesn't mean by any means that it wasn't a great hotel when I joined, but I think it's very nice to see how year after year we actually are just getting better and better. I think Corinthia is different compared to other hotels probably in two ways. I mean, one is actually just the building and the product we have, which is quite amazing. I mean, if you look at the building with all its history, if you look at all the the different rooms, the penthouses we have, which really you wouldn't find anywhere else. So that makes it, of course, already easier to do your job. If everyone who walks through the front doors looks around and thinks, wow, this is a great place to be. I think London is by far the most competitive place when it comes to five-star luxury hotels. There's so much choice out there for any guest, obviously, to choose from. And I think the challenge is to always be probably the first one out there. Like, we can't be seen as someone who is maybe copying others. We need to give the guests something to talk about, something that they want to come and experience, because we can't just sit back and continue what we're doing. Like, we need to keep improving ourselves. It's not only the arrival process. It can be things that we want to improve in housekeeping. It can be a different offering. It can be a menu we're changing. It can be something we're doing on social. I think it's extremely important that people here also find something that maybe they're not quite expecting, and we call it maybe a bit of a gentle disruption to what you actually expect in maybe a traditional five-star luxury hotel. It's a good question. I think throughout my career, I've always felt, I feel like I have a massive drive to just be very good at what I'm doing. I want other people to look at my performance and say, wow, he's actually very capable of what he's doing. And that started, I think, already from when I joined the industry. Like, when I was a receptionist, I wanted to show everyone that I was the best receptionist at that reception, and I wanted to make sure as soon as the next position as a supervisor would become available, it would be mine. And of course, I obviously ended up in a position where I was director of front of house here, a part of the executive team, and then that next step wasn't supervisor anymore. All of a sudden, that next step was actually the role of hotel manager. The first few years probably are for me now to actually prove that this is also a role that I can be very successful at. And then when Thomas retires, we need to be ready.